Time to relax. I read a lot these days. With all the crisis around, but I read. I can say I'm one of the most read person. I read so many books and so many fields.
Do you enjoy any form of sports?
I swim, I wrestle, I do taekwondo. I am almost all my life I'd always want to be physical.
Do you enjoy music?
I used to enjoy music, but as I became a Muslim I used to enjoy. Even now I do. I can't say totally. As a Muslim, you know, there's restriction on music and the type of so. My interest in music is way toned down, but that does not mean that I don't have interest. I listen to Peter Tosh, I listen to Bob Marley, I listen to Kenny Rogers, and so on. Music that makes sense, not no be gara gara. No, not that one.
Okay, so if we wanted to thrill you with a dish, what would that dish be?
Dish?
Yeah, food. Your favorite food.
I used to eat, but I stopped eating 5 months ago.
Okay, so you just drink water?
Yes, I drink water. I eat nuts. I eat banana. I eat fruits. For 5 months plus now, I've not been eating because of what is coming in front. I look at myself. I say people are looking at me. I was weighing 153. Sometimes roving 157, 153. I said, God. So if the things start now, people go carry me, they run, or which one? So I decided I stopped eating. But before then, beans was my best food.
So let me ask you what the struggle story is for you. How did you get into the struggle? What story triggered your activism?
Like I told you, I am an Amakri. Amakri brought different group of people and created the Kalawari state. And that the Kalawari state lost our sovereignty in 18-something when they were deceived to signing a treaty with Great Britain. And my grandmother believed that I was a sort of a person that can recreate and bring back, restore the glory of the Amakris. As I lived with her, she continued to put this in my head. And one incident happened. I want to say it. I had always said it this week, all my life. My uncle, my granduncle, my grandmother, younger brother, King Frederick Tom Princeville Amakri VIII, was the Amainaba of Kalawari during the Biafran War of Independence from the British contrived Nigerian state. And when the occupational Gambari Nigerian military entered Buguma, my grandmother, his daughter, Omoro, Frederick Tom Princeville, now Mrs. Mackenzie in Kotaria, and 3 of us with my grandmother went to the water side, to the waterfront at the Ogopolo, Tom Princeville compound, and we saw His Majesty sitting on a trunk with other men, and they were pleading with His Majesty to leave. And once they saw my grandmother, I was 5 years old, this was 1969, June. They turned and told my grandmother, talk to your brother, he must leave. He should not disgrace the Amakri. If the enemies catch him, they will kill him. And she told him, she commanded her younger brother, who was the king, who was our king, say, get into the boat. He was tying wrapper and a white singlet with holes. So get into the boat. and he got into the boat. When he was going, he beckoned to her and spoke to her in her ears. I didn't know what he told her, but she became visibly shaking. And he called me. She called me, I came. They handed over something in a white wrapper. It covered in a white cloth and gave it to me, and I carried it. I didn't know what it was. 5 years old. They were shooting everywhere, shelling. The Gambari Nigerian occupation force had entered and they were shelling. So with the shooting, we were dodging, and we carried it to my father's compound and kept it. It was much later I discovered that it was what is called the Amakri of Four, the symbol of the kingship of the Kalawari people. Years later, I came to discover. So these are the influences that brought me, and from that time, as my grandmother continued to talk to me, I came to realize that the struggle to restore the sovereignty that was stolen from us by the British is something that I must do. If I must continue the legacy of my forebears.
All right, we'll go on a short break now. When we come back, we'll still be speaking with the founder, Niger Delta's People's Volunteer Force, Alhaji Mujahid Asari Dokubo. Stay with us. Welcome back. We've spent the last couple of minutes getting into the world of the former president, Ijaw Youth Council, and founder, Niger Delta People's Volunteer Force, Alhaji Mujahid Dokubo Asari. Thanks for staying with us.
Thank you.
So let me ask you, do you sometimes feel like you've been misunderstood by the Nigerian people?
I'm not concerned about what Nigerians think about me. I'm only concerned about what Ijaw people think about me. At times I feel that, what will Nigerian people think about me, those who call themselves Nigerian? They are stealing from us. What sort of robbery is more than you go to Abuja every end of the month, 36 states, plus Abuja, plus agencies, plus 700 and something local government to share the resources of Soku. Why Soku? What is more criminal than that? Why Soku remain at the backyard of the world, while Ukubie remain at the backyard of the world, while Lotugbene remain at the backyard of the world? What is more? It's like somebody coming to your house, take your pot of soup, and look at you, and share the pot of soup for different people, and then just give you one spoon of the soup that you cook, you prepared your own soup. So I don't give a damn about what Nigerians think about me. They will never think anything good about me.
Now, the cause that you fight for, like you mentioned earlier, we've seen a lot of people say that they want to fight for the same cause, and we've seen a lot of kidnapping, we've seen a lot of terrible things done. Like you said, you've never done that. Do you see this cause as a selfless cause?
Yes, it is selfless. At 53, I could have been anybody. My siblings, my younger sister is a member of the House of Representatives. My cousins, my younger brother is an associate professor. My younger, so I too would have been anything if I had not taken the part of the struggle. But, you know, when you are a student of revolution, there are revolutionaries and counter-revolutionary elements. And counter-revolutionary element can be promoted by the enemy to join the struggle, which Obasanjo did very well. When Obasanjo saw that the Niger Delta struggle, which we were involved in, I wouldn't say which I was leading, I was involved because there are so many others. He infiltrated the struggle with counter-revolutionary element, counter-struggle element. And this counter-struggle element were introduce into the struggle to give the struggle a bad name. So they carry out kidnapping, they do this, they do that, and they say, but unfortunately, these elements were not able to give the struggle a bad name because the bad people, the bad people are more than the good people. So everybody started appreciating this is our struggle, don't leave them. Some elders whose children are abroad, they are our children, leave them. You are children. Did the struggle say you should go and do fire? You know what fire is?
I don't.
Yes. Some people go to the pipeline, take the oil, cook it, destroy the environment more than what Shell, Ajib, Chevron, Totafina Health is doing. They do fire. You go to the vegetation, they destroy it. They are not part of our struggle. They are criminal elements. They go, they have people who steal, people who kidnap people, kill people, rape people. They are not part of our struggle because it does not aid our struggle. Our struggle is a moral struggle. Because the just struggle is not only moral, it's religious. Because 99% of the fighters, of the combatants, believe in the efficacies of the various amatemezos in a land. But some rogue so-called elites want to associate all of us together that we're in the struggle. No, we are not in the same struggle. But sometimes their action aids our struggle. Yes, their action aids our struggle. It's the truth. You have to be. It aids our struggle. Like now. But they are not doing it. Why are they not kidnapping the people who have the oil blocks? The people who have the oil blocks that are shopping our money that they don't know even where Ikubie is. They don't know where Soku is. That are shopping our money, you are not kidnapping them. You go and kidnap small people, go and demand for money, go and kill people, go and do this. You are not part of our struggle. You suffer. We have been saying it. Even though it makes us them to be afraid. It makes them to say, I have to be careful. Oh. So the government gave the amnesty bribe to mostly the criminal element. Because, yes, some of the genuine people in the struggle are afraid. If we not take this in red and talk, then go kill us. But people like us, we say, no, we are not criminals. Because what you do today will revibrate tomorrow. And so we said, this your amnesty bribe, kokolo, we're not going to take out. So we did not take it. So some people too, they have become billionaires through the amnesty bribe. Because somebody says, I have 10,000 people. Where? Somebody says, I have 2,000 people. Where? 2,000 people, 65,000 naira a month. 130 million a month. Then you pay the people 20,000, you pay the people 5,000, you pay the people whatever you like, you pocket the other one. Where you go work, where you go get that kind of money?
You've claimed in several quarters that you're not a Nigerian. Why is that?
I am not a Nigerian. Nations are not imposed on people. People don't sit down in Berlin or anywhere and make people Nigerians. Nations are created by the will of the people. My people have never accepted Nigeria. So how can I be a Nigerian? Nobody can impose Nigeria on me. The free will of the people create nation. If everybody gathered together, the Jaw people, which include the Kalawari people, like nobody forced the Kalawari people to become a Jaw people, they naturally know that they are a Jaw people. So nobody will force an Owerri man, an Inkwere man, to be an Igbo person. He naturally knows he's an Igbo person. So if we want to be Nigerians, then we have to sit down and decide for ourselves that today we are going to give up our separate identities and accept Nigeria as our country.
So is that the reason why you do not have any investments in this country?
It's not about having investment in this country. Do you invest in an enemy-occupied territory? What is the security of your investment? How many times have they gone to Proza to destroy the guest house in which Tom Polo is staying? How many times have they destroyed the palace of the Agaragba of Pere of Baramatu? How did they steal the golden sword of Egbesu in Oproza? How? You cannot invest in an enemy-occupied territory.
Do you not think that dialogue and restructuring can solve some of the problems that we have?
50 years after Biafra, what has been stopping the dialogue? 50 years is not enough. 50 years is not enough for dialogue. 50 years is not enough for restructuring. 50 years. I am 53 years old. So since I was 3 years old, they went to Aburi. Aburi failed. So what stopped them if they really believe that we can coexist? If they want to dialogue, let them sit with us. We say, please, oh, we don't want to live with you. Now by force, you get neighbor, say you this neighbor. I don't want to the same house with you. Even my father said, if I marry, I don't go leave my father's house. Now by force I go live on my father's house. Now by force I go live with my brother, if they are our brothers. Now by force I go live with my sister. So there is no, we are not asking for war. We don't want war. Who wants to die? I don't want to die. I have 21 children. I don't want to die. I want to enjoy my life to 90 something. My grandmother died at the age of 94. My uncle just died at the age of 98. I want to enjoy my life very well, Kokolo, to the end. So who is calling for war? Who is calling for crisis? They are the ones who said, if we want to go, they will kill us. They are the ones who are attacking IPOB members. They are the ones who are killing people. They are the ones who say they have the power to kill. Nobody is saying we want to kill anybody. Leave us, let us go.
Lastly, as we round off to a close, let me ask you, if your children chose to follow this path, would you give them your approval?
Any of my child who is not ready to follow this path is not my child. That is, if I did not achieve my heart desire to have freedom, my heart desire to spend my own currency, my heart desire to carry my own passport, my heart desire to display my own flag, and if peradventure anything happen and my children are to take over from me, and my child does not join and goes to join, that child, look at him very well. Let them go and conduct. My son or daughter is not ready to take this work, then they should go and conduct a DNA on him. He's not my child. She's not my child.
So lastly, tell us one thing that you know about yourself that a lot of people do not know, but you would like to share.
People say, I drink. I've never drank alcohol. People say I smoke. I've never smoked. That does not mean drinking. Drinking is part of your life. So I'm not going to be ashamed. Ogogoro, now we make calm. Kai kai, now we make calm. I can't breathe. We they drink calm. But I've never drank. It does not make those who drink bad. I have never smoked. The job people normally before this time were not smokers. I've never smoked. As they have known, EFCC, they look, I did not steal anybody's money, and I have never stolen. So these are the things.
Thank you very much for coming on the program.
Thank you, my sister.
We have been speaking with the former president of the Ijaw Youth Council and the leader of the Niger Delta People's Volunteer Force, Alhaji Mujahid Dokubo Asari. He's been letting us into his world. Trust you enjoyed the show. Remember, you can keep up with us by sending your mails to the Sunday interview at tvcnews.tv. We will be waiting to hear from you. Thanks again for watching. I'm Jokeli Jado. Bye.
Thank you very much.